This is Tenacious Earl, and this is Tabletop Baseball Plus, uh, where we play all sorts of tabletop sports games, baseball typically being the predominant one, but in this case, we're going to be playing some golf, as I have been kind of focusing on that for the last couple of weeks here. I really would like to make some headway in this Tenacious Golf Tour as well as the Slacker Tour. So a couple things. First off, I have been trying to I really need to address this microphone issue, and so at the moment I'm using earbuds. This is not the best thing in the world because I've got a cord that's here that I'm afraid I'm going to grab a hold of when I'm going to roll dice and stuff like that. So it's not ideal. I would love to invest in a nice condenser microphone or something like that I could kind of hook up Bluetooth to this thing. So that way I would have a very high quality audio experience here, and maybe at some point that will be able to happen, but it's not going to happen right now. So this is the best I can do, but I am aware that there have been some audio issues of late, and I'm not 100% sure what the problem is, if it's just my endemic microphone that's built into my phone, or if it's... I also just did a bunch of updates, but I didn't want to chance it because I've been having videos lately that have been iffy. Now, I will say this. When I record sort of the shot facing me, that microphone does not pick it up very well. It's just a proximity issue. Again, if I can get a microphone down the road and a kind of a boom stand that gives me a much better, it gives me some basically wireless. I can go wireless with that, and it gives just a better sound. That would be great, but that means outlaying some money. So we'll make do with what we have for now. This is Friday night here. I would be remiss not to point out that there are. So this is using History Maker Golf. It's a play games product, and play it's spelled Plaay. You can go search for it on Google. You could find their website. They are just opening up their play.con convention in Denver, and I believe they're going to attend a Rockies game at some point this weekend, and that should be fun for them. But also should be fun playing a lot of the games that they offer. So obviously, there's lots of conventions that go on, tournaments and things with all the different, mostly baseball games. But the guys that play there, I hope they have a great time up in the higher altitudes. And Keith and those guys are obviously friends of the channel, friends of myself and Tabletop Earl, and some of the other channels that you'll see baseball demos, and a number of other ones that are out around there where you see this played. So just wanted to give them the shout out and say good. I hope everybody has a great time and comes away. Sounds like they come away with a game if in the process. So that's always a positive to get a game of your choice. I think that I heard, but I could be wrong. And it sounds like they want to expand it next year. But we've got a game here in front of us, History Maker Golf. We have a tournament. This is going to be the third round. I published the cut rounds. And again, I got some feedback about the audio. And, it's just a situation that is... it will eventually be easier as I am able to devote more money towards improving my setup. But at the moment, we're going to make do. And so let's go. We've got, I believe it was 73 golfers who made the cut. Two of them are outstanding: Bruno Friedman and Cord Pope. A couple of Slacker Tour qualifiers have made the outstanding. So probably one of them is going to be in the final groups, which will be. It always makes for some interest when you get some of these custom cards that I've made and see how the different trait combinations how they work out. But we will put these guys over on the far right here. They're going to be pile 8, and we take the guys that made the cut, and I'm going to shuffle them a couple times and make 7 piles. We're going to start by making 8 piles out of them, and then I'm going to take the smallest of the piles and distribute it between the other 7. So, hello, Bill Simone. I'll take a guess that's how you pronounce your name, but if it's Simony or some other variant, I welcome you. Good to see you. Friday night. It's always a good night for some gaming. And, sometimes when you play these games that take a little bit of time, like a tournament here takes probably 3 to 4 hours, I would say, of total time, maybe even a little longer if you're, yeah, I'll take that. It'd be nice to have like 2 or 3 tables in this room where I could have 3 different games basically ready to rock and roll at any one time. Maybe someday I'll have a house where I have this man cave that's part home theater for the sports of my life and part home recording studio, which gives, would have multiple opportunities for games. Because it'd be nice to be able to leave this for a day or two and go play a second season game somewhere else. But once you got it on the table, it's really, and I will tell you this because I've just taken a couple minutes here because I'm shuffling these and I don't want to rush, and I feel like there's some learnings here in what I'm talking about. So I've had a guy named Patrick comment on some of my History Maker baseball videos from darn near a year ago, if not more, and so I did a second generation. Actually, I think I called it 2.1. It was a History Maker Baseball Tenacious League. Based off the first one, which is over at Tenacious Strat YouTube channel. But I started a second one with Super Advanced Strat, and then I got History Maker Baseball thanks to Baseball Demos. He gave me his copy, which was awesome, and awesome of him to do. He is a really swell fella, and check out his channel. But anyway, I got into that a few games in for each of the teams, and then I really got to where I wanted to get playing that Phillies replay again. And then it's, and it also has happened with the Super Advanced 2016 League for Stratomatic. It's like, once you lose touch with some of these things, it can be really tough to get back to them. So, I guess what I'm saying is like sometimes you get this thing on the table and you would like to walk away for a couple days and go play another game and then come back to it. I do find that sometimes there's a little bit of nervousness or hesitancy in the idea that maybe I'm going to forget what was going on. Maybe I'm going to lose my place. I find that with books too. I get a little anxious about that I'm going to like lose my place. Raymond Desjardins with a question. He says, "Hi Earl, what's my favorite course that I've played so far in History Maker Golf?" And I'll tell you what, I guess I always will gravitate. I probably will always gravitate to the courses that I know in real life very well. And so I guess Augusta National is probably, because I think we just all kind of have grown up with this mystique and aura around. So it's called Champions Course. That's the fictional name that Play has given it. But I think that's what I would I think I would go with that. It comes with the game itself, so that's one of the pluses is that you get it. Uh, you know, um, you get it with the game, but in effect, it's and actually another nice thing is that I'm pretty familiar with Kapalua. I used to play this game called Lynx LS, and Kapalua was one of the courses that comes with it. So you get both of those courses with the base game History Maker Golf, and so but Augusta it has this mystique, this aura. The way that CBS filmed it in the 80s and 90s, it was just you really pretty much saw from hole number 7, I would say, till the end. And it was always very mysterious. It seemed like they picked camera angles that gave you only a fraction of what the golfers had to deal with. And it was a very difficult fraction, but it also added to that mystique. You see that shot from the back of the 15th green, and you watch that approach shot come in there from your third shot, and you watch it draw back into the lake, and it's just like, and you've got Amen Corner there, just so many. Now, again, Pebble Beach is another one I would say. So that's Pacific Golf Links, I think is what it's called. Again, it's a course playing not only links, but playing, Tiger Woods PGA Tour. You just get really familiar with some of these. And I'd love to see a few more from the PGA Tour. I mean, heck, back when I had an Apple, a Macintosh back in the 90s. I had, EA Sports PGA Tour Golf. I remember Joey Sindelar being a part of that game, he was my favorite golfer. And, they had like TPC Avenel in that game. And they do have some of the TPC courses in History Maker Golf, but, there are a couple that it would be great to, especially since Avenel's back in the rotation of tournaments. So maybe we'll see that one of these days as they moved away from Congressional for I think it's the Quicken National. But anyway, let's get going. Thank you for the question, Raymond, and I'm glad that I pronounced your name right because I pride myself in being accurate and but again, I also took French, so and I'm a hockey fan, so I'm hoping that I have a decent. Now, we did have a gentleman with the last name Boyu on here, and I think I got that right, but I don't know. There's also this. I'm now he's on the Sabres, my favorite team, and they seem to think the Buffalo sportscasters kind of call it Bowl-U, like with a little L in the middle of it. Well, because there is an L, but Bowl-U instead of Boyu. That's why I always recall them saying it even on the Canadian broadcasts. But hey, I'm far from a francophone, but I do my best. So, like I said, we're going to make 8 piles here from the guys that made the cut. So you try to make 4 even piles first, split them into 2, split them into 2, and then split them again each into 2, and that will give us 8. And again, you just do the best you can. It's going to introduce a little bit of randomness, which is okay. So you might have one pile that's a little stronger than the other. It's not a big deal, but try to do my best. And sometimes with these piles, it's really kind of tough to. Let's see. Trying to do the best I can. Well, let me see. I'm going to take this guy. This seems to be the least, and we'll just distribute it here between the 7, so we get we'll call that good. So we had 6 in that pile. That was definitely the least. Well, that one seems a little low too. I said it doesn't matter. How about we take it for what I said and just make sure it doesn't matter. All right. Okay, so we do have 8 piles with the outstanding golfers as their own, and so we now use this guy, which is the completing the 3rd round, and I'm going to try and adjust my hot lamp. Ow. No, that's not that hot, but So again, we roll D6s, 2 of them. Ascending order is how you determine which of these checks you go from. If it's 11, you check the top golfer in the pile based on his tournament rating, and he is placed on A plus, which is that guy over there with the star. And he also gets a perk or issue. So you see the little lightning bolt. That's it's caution in real life, I think, but it's really just meant to say, hey, he gets a tourney perk or issue, which can either help or hurt him. One of the neat things about the play games is that there tends to be some intangible factors that are, you know, brought into the game mechanics, and that's one of them here. I'm not going to hold this up every time. You just have to trust that I've got it under my belt, but I'm going to write down in my little book here, 3rd round, and I will record the perks and issues that we get. I think in my last Slacker tournament, I got absolutely no golfers with perks or issues, so I think that was a first for me. I don't recall ever having one before where I didn't get any selections that had perks or issues. So now this is where having this little cord in the way may be a little bit interesting. I thought about running it up my sleeve, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. So we roll the D6s and we get a 24. Can you see that's a 24? That is a black die, and it goes up against that black mat pretty distinctively. And I think I will switch after this one to green, so maybe it shows up a little better on the camera. So 24 is going to be the top golfer contends with A and gets a perk or issue, and everybody else is going to finish. So everything from B minus down becomes a finish. So their scores are going to be determined by their tournament rating, with some other little factors in there. But so if this first pile, we're going to figure out who the top golfer is, and I'm just going to reveal them one by one here, and we'll knock out the ones who are less. So it's going to be one of my. So these are my custom cards. These guys are basically either qualifiers or members of the Under Tour. Going into the 2019 season, these guys some of them will make their way up to the Tenacious Golf Tour full time. They'll learn a card. But so 4 is better than 5. 3 is better than 4. Okay, so this is 4B. 4A is better than 4B is better than 4C. So, but 4C is better than 5A. So that's how that kind of goes. Leroy Castillo is 3C, so he'll be ahead of Cody Shepard. Gary Patel, as you can see, this says Pro National Golf. That is the set that these cards are from. Try and get it to where it will zoom in. Hey, Al. 2017 Pro National Golf. So this is Play's fictional set, but the 4B will not beat out a 3C. Next is John Westinghouse. He is a 3A, and that will overcome 3C, and so he will sort of take the lead at the moment into those final groups. 2B for Greer Copeland III, and that will beat out 3A. What now? And these guys are all upside down, so the 3A for Ian Robards. That's not going to be good enough for Copeland III. Same thing for Danny Gallatin, a 3A. So if you want to, sometimes it's fun just to kind of compare the cards. These guys aren't that far off, but Gallatin's a little bigger hitter. He's a bomber, semi-bomber, but Copeland is a better driver overall, and he is a much better with the irons. So this guy is a guy to watch out for. Now the downside for him is that he's sort of an average clutch putter, and that can come back to haunt him. But will he be in the final groups? Todd Ahrens, a 3B. That's a no. Very similar here to Copeland. A little better recovery game, just a slight downgrade in wood accuracy and iron accuracy / we'll say iron proficiency. Or actually, no. little better in wood proficiency, a little less in iron efficiency, a little better recovery, and very green. He's a prospect. So Todd Ahrens is a guy that we'll have to look for in the future. 3C for Augie Kammerman. And Evan Aldrich with a 2A, the final guy in the pile, is going to beat out Greer Copeland III. And so Evan Aldrich, the top golfer, will be an A, and we will put him over here in the A pile. So, and I'm going to write him down here so we get perks and issues. So Evan Aldrich, our first golfer. And then the rest of these gentlemen here will be at C+, was it? Yes, it was C+. We put them back here. Hi, Al. Hi, Beatles Eternally. Good to see you both. It's a good Friday night here down in the table room. So, second. And I'm getting rid of the black die for now. I'm going to try and get one that shows up a little better against the black background of my little dice box here. And so there is 16. So 16, I guess I'll show you each time if I can remember. So we do a random draw out of this pile, and that guy will be at A- and get a tourney perk and issue. And then we'll find the top golfer after that, and he will be at A. So the top golfer will be ahead of the draw golfer, and everybody else is going to be at D+. So now the way I do this, those of you who are familiar with my procedures for doing this, I do a random draw by fanning out the cards into a pile. Not a pile, but out into a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're not going to get to see them all. And then I use a 20-sided die to then pick randomly the one that's going to be up there. So we can only, if it's 1 through 12, it will determine which of these cards will be the draw golfer at A- and who gets a perk or issue. If it's from 13 and up, we will re-roll. And it's 6, so it will be 5, 6 right here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that is Palmiro Cavallari, who has been in a number of our telecasts of late, and he will get another one. He'll get a tourney perk or issue. So the issue would be the negative side. The perk would be obviously the positive side. Now, the trick here, I'm going to try and pile these back up again the way that I laid them out, so we just get sort of the... So we got to find this top golfer that's going to go up there with Evan Aldrich, right? So the first one will be Ian Osborne, a 5C. I think 6A is the worst that we have, so that's only one more, and I think this, I'm sure this card will beat it out. Let's see. 5A, Valentine Carson. I think he will also get beaten out. You can see here, Valentine, not a very good golfer at all, but did make the cut. But you can see he does hit the ball long. One of the longer guys out here with the bomber category, but semi-yeoman means that he's pretty inaccurate. Rust clutch putting means that he really stinks in the clutch, and semi-prospect means he is a relatively green guy. 4A for Connor George. I'm not going to go through the traits of all of these players, but I just thought with a couple of them I would. Myung Cho, who had a nice run in the previous tournament, he is going to be... here's one that's the opposite of bomber. You've got Mr. Semi-puny, which is just means he doesn't hit the ball quite as far as the average golfer. But he's currently holds the top rung here. John Hudspeth, no, 4B. Gene Ewing, a 4A, is not going to be enough. Leon Bay, a 4A, also not enough. Tagaki Yamasaki, the Japanese golfer, is a 3C, and he is going to end up at D+. Heath Sommers is going to knock Myung Cho down to being out of contention. So Darren Sears a 3A, and unless this is Dustin Emmerich, Heath Sommers will be the A, and Lemon's a 2B. So Heath Sommers will join Evan Aldrich there at A, and the rest of these golfers will be at D+. So Palmiro Cavallari, the draw golfer, on a 16 at A-. The top golfer, Heath Sommers, at A. And the others are at D+, just double checking everything. So the third pile. So it looks like Al, Red Sox fan, is having an out-of-the-park tournament. He just keeps playing a lot of online games here. So his channel is a plethora of computer sims of various baseball and football and boxing and all sorts of stuff. So check him out. And the third pile is going to be a 35. And a 35 is going to be very similar to 16, except the draw golfer will, you see it down here, 35. The draw golfer will contend with A. The top golfer will contend with A-. Then everybody else is going to contend with B, so that means that they have a chance to become an emerging contender late in the final round. So this is all about setting up the final round scoreboard. If you have never seen this before, those of you who have seen these, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. And so we've got 5, 10, 11. So we can go 1 to 11 on the D20. And it's 13, so that's not going to be particularly fruitful. 4 will be, though, and that's right here. It's going to be one of my custom cards. Kason Wong. He will not have a Turney Perker issue, but he will be at A. And again, I'm going to try and roll these out one by one for the greatest effect. The greatest amount of suspense and effect. Just like any good presenter should try to do within reason. Celestino Garcia, 3B. Then you got 3C for Caden Vincent. That's not going to do it. Junior Lucero at a 4B will also not. Gareth Leonard, a 1B, is going to send Celestino into the potential emerging contenders. Eddie Sykes. Again, Dustin Emmerich's the only guy that's going to beat a 1B. Gary Jakowski. You could have a second 1B. That would be potential. Kyle Reyes, 4B. Nope. Sheridan Cook Jr., a 5C. 1C for Enrique Magallanes. He's not going to eclipse Gareth Leonard. And Smokey Novak, a 3B. That's the final card. So these guys are all going to end up in the B pile as emerging contenders. Gareth Leonard will be at A-. So we have 5 guys in the final pairings out of 3 piles so far. That's pretty standard fare. We'd like to have 12 ultimately. And so 24 is the next roll on our dice. It's going to be the top golfer contends with A, gets a Turney Perk or issue, and the others finish at C+. So I think we already had a 24, so that's sometimes you do get some repeats when you have these rolls. Ramon Zavala at 4C. Okay, Justin Wallace 2A, that's going to be one that's not too easy to beat. We got Elliott Strong at 4B. Sorry that you're having trouble there, Al, with the 2B for Kenji Morita is not going to beat 2A. Sorry you're having trouble with some locking up. I hope anybody else who's on the channel here isn't experiencing problems. 3A for Lanny Saxerholt. Dustin Emmerich is going to knock out Justin Wallace, so there's no other 1As, so the rest of these, Jimmy Kimes, Patrick Kieran 3C, Jay Gunwu 3B, Benicio Vasquez 3B, Ricardo Nicholson 4C, and Glenn Frassard 4B are all going to be in the C plus pile. And Emmerich is going to be an A. Will this be the tournament he wins? He's been knocking on the door for a while. But sometimes when you knock on the door doesn't open, and he keeps waiting for that to happen. So I'm just trying to give myself a little more room here. I got to write down Emmerich for a perk or issue. And here we are. We're halfway through our rolls for the third round. $22. So 22, another top golfer will contend with A, and everybody else will contend with B. So let's take a look. Start with the first one. It's going to be Reese Gillespie, 4B. Another 4B, Samir Webb. Brayan Dunn, 5B. Sincere Grant will, well, I should have been, 5B should have been over here, but those other 4Bs are not going to go. Sincere Grant, 1C for Martin Van Dyke's going to knock out all of my custom cards there, I think. Trevor Noen. Su Cheng Tien. Shinji Kanishi, a 2B. And finally, Denny Rowetter, a 3B. They're all going to be potential emerging contenders. Martin Van Dyke, an A. And he'll get a perk or issue. And I'm going to up to 4 of them. So now pile 6. Oh, Al, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know if a reboot would help or not. Sometimes it's just, I mean, I use a Kindle too, and it can be flighty sometimes. We have another top golfer contends with A, this time without a perk. So we're going to have a relatively strong field here in these final groups, but only one is going to come out. So that will be 7 with 2 more groups of cards to go. And let's see where the top is. Shane Sterling, a 4C, is not going to stay there long. Dave Simanowicz Jr., 3B. That's probably unlikely he's going to pass through there. You're probably going to need to get into the 2A range, and you might still, let's see, who haven't we seen yet that's in that, well, we haven't seen Trenchard. He's in the 2s. Here's Chico Fonseca, a 2C. Let's see, Burke Yielding, a 2C, so we've got a tie here. See if anybody can eclipse that. Zephaniah Scott, a 4A. Hey there, hey Craig. There is an attendee out there at play.con, so check out his channel. If anybody is interested in seeing some of the goings-on that are going to be happening out there in Denver at play.con, I think Craig will be trying to broadcast here and there, so while he's in the midst of having fun playing games. So 4A for Luke Henneman's not going to do the job. Shane Smith, a 4A, nope. A 3A for Franz Hockel. Are these 2Cs going to be making it through? John Reasoner, a 3B. Trent McAdams, that's who I forgot. Trent McAdams is going to knock these 2 guys into the C column. Finally, Gail Honorado, a 2A. Not going to do it. And let's double check. Finish with C. McAdams, another one at A, correct? 14. A without a perk or issue. And I'm starting to run out of space here, so. But we've got, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Be nice to get 2 cards from each of these, but it's probably not going to happen. It means we might have to pull somebody in from B plus or B. So the final uh, not outstanding golfer pair grouping, that'll be 35. I think we hit 35 before. No, we didn't. Maybe we did. Draw golfer contends with A. Top golfer contends with A minus, and that so we will get 2 out of this. Others contend with B. We're gonna have a huge B pile, a huge pile of B, whatever B is, beer, biscuits, and this is a this ends up being a pretty small pile here. There's only 7, and there's a couple of my custom cards in here, so we'll see. So we can go up to 14 with the D20 roll. The draw golfer gets no perk, but will be at A. So we're going to have 7 guys at A at least. And 16 won't do the job with 7 cards. Number 2, it's going to be Jason Huffman. One of my custom cards is going to make, that's going to be 2 in that group at A. And let's see what we've got going on for the top golfer that will be at A minus. Well, Carson Riddell might write the book on that one with the 1C. That's going to be tough. Maurizio Warner, Antoine Spence. Rance Aberley's going to miss out with a 2A. Yun Lee Song, excuse me. I don't know why I said B Song. Lee Song, 1B. I guess because he's a 1B, I had B on the brain. And 2B for Bob Demelmeyer. He is a qualifier, and he's going to be at... that was 35, and that will be contending with B. Again, that huge pile of B. So, finally, we've got the outstanding golfers. Well, Craig Kahn was good for the night, had to skip out. Well, it's cool. They were getting a baseball tournament underway. So, yeah, that's great. The we're doing a little tournament here. So, finally, this outstanding 25. Do we get 2? We do. So one of the 2 is going to get drawn. The other is going to be the top golfer. So the draw gets A. And so we're going to do, I think Pope came first. So we're going to roll the decider die in true play games fashion. The decider die will be so if it's a yes, it will be Pope. If it's a no, it'll be Friedman. That's the draw golfer. So it's a yes, so it'll be Pope. He'll be at A, and he will get a perk. Let me double check. 25. Yes, he will get a perk or issue. Corbin Pope. And let's see. Which one is the top golfer out of this pile? Well, we've got Bruno Friedman, and that's the only one. So it's going to be Bruno at A minus. And so I think that gives us a total of 12. I'm going to move the dice tray out of the way so I can kind of pull these out a bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. How about that? Right on the money. That's good. I was going to say it'd be kind of neat if somehow they were to put on the little the third round sim here from this out there, but I don't know the logistics of that maybe. And they also have a seminar that's going to be going on, I think, or a little panel. I don't want to say little. It's not little, but I mean a panel that they're going to be doing that has a couple of channels that I follow, and Al Wilson, Steve Tower, and then there's a third guy, I don't remember his name, who is a serious gamer. they're going to be talking about the future of board games in sports. So we got all these big golfers, and we're going to have to do. Oh, that's a great. Yeah, I'll have to. I'll come back to that. But yeah, we're gonna have to see if anybody's emerging. It's gonna have to be. It's gonna be a rather extensive. If it's a draw golfer, we're gonna have to, bore in there on the. Okay, so Bill Simone is wondering which golfer, which of these six. No, it's five golfers who earned a perk or issue is going to get the issue of being getting a little too heavy into the nip between the third and fourth round. Well, what we can do is if anybody gets anything that's like an issue, like red chips, we will make sure it's that, and maybe even more creative than that. Okay, so what do we do from here? Well, that's we take our target score. So again, I've said this before. I keep a little book with some notes. The winning score from 2017. Now we did last weekend. They played the military tribute. I should know the tournament name, but it's basically a tournament that it salutes the troops and whatnot. But it's at Greenbrier. The Greenbrier is what they call it. It's a spa out in the West Virginia hills. And the course here, Springhouse, is par 70, but I take the winning score from 2017, even though the 2018 tournament happened, just for consistency. That score was 266, which is 14 under. My way of doing this is I take a D6 and the decider die, and I got a 5 and a no, so that meant I subtract 2 from the winning score, so we're going to targeting minus 16, a 264. So we go to this chart, and so each of the letter ratings gives you a score that they're going to be. If you roll the decider die for each golfer. In this case, 210 is even par, so this is going to be 12 under par for the yes, and did I say I meant 11? Did I say 12? I meant 11. 11 under par, 10 under par. My math skills are on vacation, so they will return one of these days. So I recently made all the way up to plus 25. I'm trying to I'm going to simulate my own golfing experience. No. Actually, the part of the reason I did this is because I would like to do. So I had to make some new ones because I wrote on the backside of a couple of these scoring tiles. So I printed a couple out, and I wanted to print out some more, and I would like to eventually do a modified Stableford tournament. And so that's why I started going to pluses, because Stableford uses points instead of under par or over par. So let's see. I think all we need are these four: 11 under, 10 under, 9 under, and 8 under. And I was just thinking about it. Maybe I've been in the bad moonshine with that math I just did. That was getting pretty tipsy there, I think. Yeehaw! Well, what I do have... So I'll tell you what. Just to celebrate whoever gets that issue, I've got one last can of some really, really fine stuff. And that was just the box that I threw out. So let's see. We're going to start out by showing you the top of this, or the bottom of the can. That tells you all you need to know. It's 7%, which is pretty nice. It's not an imperial. It's just a nice old IPA, and it is called Liquid Truth Serum IPA from Dogfish Head. It's a rather tasty treat, and It's already warm in this room, and it's going to get even warmer with this. But yeah. So, let me tell you about my past. Let me do my Peter Struck impression. No, I'm just kidding. All right, and it got a little. It's definitely an ale. It's got a little bit of a fruity, a little bit of I'd say a banana type tinge to it, and it's hoppy too and good. So good to quote who is that? Cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation, drinking and very wait no that was the turkey that blew up in their face. So what we do here, getting back to bones here. Each of these golfers here that have made the final 6 pairings, I'll use pairings this time. We roll the decide or die for each of them. If it's a yes, the golfer ends up at -11. They'll be tied for the lead. Or if we only get one golfer out of that big long, if we roll 1 yes out of 8, then I don't know. I'm going to find something to give away here on the channel. So everybody can start praying for the 1 in 8 roll, and because I've done that now, it will most certainly happen. But and then if it's a no, if it's this, they're going to go here at -10. So let's see. You guys, you 4 people who are watching live are the first to hear this, and so you're probably going to hope for the blank for a long time. The longer, the better. So I'll even pay out if I get no dots, which that's really going to make a really crowded 3 here. But so Evan Aldrich, I'll pull these out each one at a time. Evan Aldrich will be first, and it's a no. So there you go. First one plays into this little experiment in probabilities. So, and maybe by the time I'm done RNG IDP, I may be into some bad moonshine. Fortunately, I haven't committed to anything to give away yet. But it would be better than the empty beer can. So, Heath Sommers will be another no. Craig there, he had some trick dice. I swear this is not a trick die. On his channel, he was doing a little, kind of having a little fun pining for the tournament, the convention this weekend. See you, Beatles. I hope it was fun for you. Let's see. Case and Wong. Let's pull this guy out here and let's roll it off. We're going to get a dot? We do. Someone's going to say, that didn't end up in the dice tray. That doesn't count. All right, Dustin Emmerich, the guy with the best tournament rating. Can he finally win a tournament? There's a no. Oh boy, it's getting a little warm in here. Martin Van Dyke. Another no. Trent McAdams. We got 3 more. How about 1 more? We need another dot here. I don't want. Looks like Kaysen is a little lonely up there. Yeah, there's a yes. I'd like 1 more just so that way I don't get any more of the. I don't get any of that strange saying I tricked it up or something. So here's Jason Huffman. There's another dot. Okay, good. So there. Maybe next time we'll do a. So Corbin Pope, if the probabilities work out to 50-50, he should end up at -11, but he's going to be at -10. So there's that. Okay. I shoved those down because I kind of expected that we might get more of these guys. And I wanted to keep them all on the screen. But so there we've got 8 golfers in the first, or all within a shot of the lead. And now we're going to have Palmiro Cavallari. Will he be at -9 or -8? That's where the A- will go. He'll be at -9. Gareth Leonard. I believe he is a Brit. You know what? What does this say? It says it's bursting with all the hops. Whole leaf, liquefied, palletized, and powdered. That's like a, the tetrad of hop wonder. Hoppier than a bunny farm. So, yeah. Gareth Leonard. Oh, that's going to be I didn't get a chance to roll that one very hard because I was trying to remain upright here. No, I'm just kidding. I can hold my liquor. Here's Yun Lee Song. He'll be with Palmiro Cavallari. Finally, Bruno Friedman. And he'll be at -8. So I'm in a good mood. I hope everybody else is. It's Friday. You've got to love that, right? I mean, they say Saturday night's all right for fighting, so I guess Friday night's all right for just chilling out and rolling the dice. So, okay. Let's put these other little cards and get them stowed away in my bag with the other cut golfer, or the golfers who made the cut but are not going to participate in our final groups. And so let's take -12 and put him up here. And let's take, we'll do this for now. Try and build the leaderboard up this way. Now I'm going to have those little slimmer cards. And let's get the hooch out of the way here. She got the hooch. Amen. Okay. So, that's where it stands at the moment. Now, what are we at here? We're at 52 minutes. So, I'm not going to build out the full... I mean, it's basically the building out the score sheet and the pairings and all that stuff. I've done that many times. I don't really want to take a lot of time doing that, but what I would like to do is settle our perks and issues, and also the weather for the final round. So, looking for there you are, my clipboard. So, starting to warm up a little bit here in my slice of this great earth. So let's first do the weather. And so this is the Appalachian Hootenanny. We got all of our lovely meth-addled girls up here ready to watch this ground. They're pretty sweet ladies, so to speak. So this is in July. And we're going to have us a good time here. This is going to be, we're going to call this we will call this the U.S. Great Lakes, I think. Lake region. It's not really subarctic. It could be humid mid-continental, though. Central U.S. What's the extra? So you get a little extra wind, Great Lakes. I would say we're going to go with central U.S. Humid, mid-continental. I don't think West Virginia is all that windy of a spot normally. And so we will, boom. Does 46 get us anything? Nope. 56 would have. That would have been firm greens. But so it's just gonna be normal conditions, and I I got to look at the, so there are ratings. I forget the fella who put them together. They call them plop ratings. They're very, you can kind of think of them like slope and rating in regular golf. But, what was I going to say? But you get a feel for weather, because we're at minus 11. My target was what, minus 16? Yeah, minus 16. So we've got to go, so at minus 11, that means someone's got to hit minus 5 or minus 6. Could happen, but I got to see if Springhouse is a course that can accommodate that kind of score. And if not, we may have to just, as I showed in one of my previous tutorial videos, maybe take a little bit of the teeth out of this if it's a teeth-laden course. Now, let's do the final. We've got 4 minutes left here. Let's quickly get through our tourney day issues and perks, or perks and issues, however you want to call it. And I get out also the black die. So what I do is, if you have followed this before, what we usually have is 4 D6s in the regular gameplay. The white is kind of like the first one you look at. Then there's black, and I use brown. Silver is given to you in the game, but black is sort of the second one you would look at along with the brown, and then the third one would be the green in a lot of rolls. And so what I do is I roll white, black, and green, read them in that order for these. So let's just take a look at this. So you've got the first roll. The white roll would be the category. The black roll would be this guy, which bullet point underneath it. And then the green would be if, let's say, you need a certain number of blue chips. That would read that. And if we have to roll the decider die, we will. Let's start with Evan Aldrich, who is, where is he at? He is at minus 10 to start this round. And we will go with the white 2 and a black 4. And so he is going, so Evan, those hillbilly girls, they just, they brought him this bottle, and it smelled so good. It smelled like, just this berry goodness. And, he just, he ends up buying pregnancy tests for all of them because he's not sure who he spent the night with, but yeah. So he's got a little hangover here, and and who knows what else. But we got a 1 here, so he's only going to have 1 red chip. So maybe he just maybe he avoided the worst of it. I think he might have. Maybe the roofie didn't quite dissolve. So anyway, now I've offended a bunch of people. We've got to roll this decider die to see if this is going to be an ongoing thing. What I mean by that is when you have a question mark, you roll the decider die. If it's a yes, it's a till further notice. And I should write down here that Evan Aldrich is 1 red chip. And is it till further notice? Nope. So that's bad for whoever is still on the TFN list, because they would have rolled off. So Aldrich's caddy is trying to find a nice black cup of coffee. Try and pull them back together again. And this time we've got Palmiro Cavallari. And so it's a white 4 and a black 5. And that's going to be... So that's one of these fun ones. Hey there, Ken. It's kind of a fun one, 4 or 5. So basically it's if you... basically if you do well on the first hole, or just even, you end up with just regular old mood. But if you have a bad score on the first hole, you end up stormy the rest of the round. It's not the rest of the round. It's just you get stormy. You could actually pull yourself out of it. So, I'm going to put this. So, first bogey, stormy. And so no question mark means we don't have to really worry about further checks as to whether that's going to be till further notice. Now we've got Dustin Emmerich. Everybody's his reputation precedes him. Let's just put it that way. Wow, 6-6-5. So 2 6s. He's going to get extra control, and that's got a question mark. Boy, if he could get extra control until further notice, that would be... Maybe that would put him over the top. Extra control, what that means is that when you roll a 4 on the white die on a hole, you get to go off of your card. And it's till further notice, so... Maybe that will be the thing that gets him over the top. So he'll have extra control. And I'm going to go ahead and put... I have a little doohickey here that I put right there. It says XC, so I recognize during the tournament that he's got extra control. Okay, Martin Van Dyke. So all these guys have been... Well, Palmero is not. He is at -9, but Van Dyke is at -10, and 4-2. 4-2. He's going to be stormy. He's going to have the stormy quality. So, and will that be till further notice? That's got a question mark next to it. No. So only for this round. And last, it'll be Corbin Pope, who is right there, also at -10. And lastly, he is going to be 3-5. So if par, better on the first hole, sunny, otherwise stormy. So okay, and that's only for this tournament. So that's where we're going to leave this off. A bit over an hour here into this, but just wanted to get everything squared away. So give me one moment as I turn this around. We'll give it a little bit of a send-off here before turning you all loose to whatever you're going to do if there's another broadcast coming up. So as you can see, I just wanted to mention to anybody who's joined late or who kind of fast-forwarded to the end, my videos for the near future, I'm going to be using my earbuds, as you can see. Ooh. I apologize for the sound quality. I know that may have turned some people off. Part of the problem is if I unplug this right now, the sound quality is just not going to be so great. And I'm not sure if it's my case, if it's my microphone that's gone bad, if it's some wiring that hooks from the microphone to the rest. I mean, I don't know what's on the inside. It's a bunch of sophisticated circuitry. Brought to you by Steve Jobs, the dearly departed Steve Jobs. So, I'm feeling a little goofy right now. It's Friday night. And, yeah, thank you, Bill, for tuning in and watching. Hope this was some entertainment that some of us guys can enjoy. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to probably be using the earbuds until I can get a better quality microphone that maybe pipes in Bluetooth. We'll see. I don't know. I'd really like to get a whole recording setup for this room, but that's an investment. Of course, it's an investment. Maybe if I make it, then maybe that helps improve the product greatly, and we get some added subscribers. So I don't know. We'll see. But thanks for the people who have liked this video. 5 of you. We appreciate that. We appreciate our subscribers. I'm not sure what Tabletop has planned for the weekend, if he's got games or if this is the time of year where it's just really easy to feel like you need a break, to you got family vacations, you got picnics, you've got reunions, just, beautiful nights of hanging out by whatever, the campfire, the pool, the patio, so there's a lot of things. So, we'll just see if Earl's got something planned. But again, check out RNGIDP throughout the weekend. Also, I would imagine after further review with Steve Tower, we'll have stuff from theplay.con. Check it out. Maybe if you watch some of the videos coming from out there, and also, they have a Facebook page, Play Games Community. They're going to be sharing a lot of videos from that, I'm sure, and pictures. Maybe it's something you'll want to try doing next year. Maybe you aren't real sure. I mean, I'll tell you what, I have to admit, there might be some hesitancy from me just because, I'm not sure how good I am. You go to these things and you feel like you might have to play against others. I really don't think it matters. I think it's just, you're just there for the fun. If you get knocked out in a tournament early, that means you can go play a different game. It's, I don't think there's any shame or whatever you want to call it in having a bad beat or two, and you just keep playing and have some fun. And I mean, getting around guys. I mean, that's one of the things I think is great about our channel here, is that you're kind of getting around other people who, share the same passion. When we get live streams going, the commenting is good. And so, we get the chance to interact with others, but also go and check out, like I said, Facebook. We've got Tabletop Baseball Plus. There's the Play Games Community Forum. There's several for Stratomatic. I'm sure there are for ATBA. I don't play ATBA, so I don't get in on those, but there's also forums out there. Just, catch up with people. Interact. We aren't going to bite. We aren't going to laugh at you. We aren't going to judge. We're just going to support, offer suggestions, and, and again, take them as suggestions and not criticisms. But, just, it's all about having fun and furthering our passion. So I think I will probably be playing the first batch of holes tomorrow. I don't know how much I'll actually get in, so be on the lookout for that, for the Appalachian Hootenanny. Martin Van Dyke, I guess I should have said for that Stormy, let's see, what could he have done, Mr. Van Dyke? He thought he booked the Ritz in downtown White Sulphur Springs, but it turned out it was the Blitz. It was actually this dive bar slash kind of roach motel, and there's a lot of noise. Didn't really get to sleep real early. Martin just not, and I believe he's Dutch, so, he's already kind of like, he's kind of had enough of that lifestyle that's going on there at these, kind of, nasty bars. And, so he's just waking up the wrong side of the bed, a little cranky, a little stormy. So, but anyway, this Appalachian Hootenanny, you got lots of stories that can come out of it. So we'll see you soon. Thanks a lot. Till next time, keep rolling your dice, having a good time playing some tabletop sports. Enjoy the rest of this Friday the 13th. Pretty good for Friday the 13th. Have a good one.